What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Deej Sports. Thank you guys for joining me in a new video today. Today we're gonna be making our second round NBA playoff predictions. The NBA first round playoffs officially concluded with the Warriors beating the Houston Rockets. What a matchup that was. How about Buddy Hield scoring a career high 33 points, 9 made three-pointers to seal the deal, and also the Warriors went on a crazy 12-point run in the fourth quarter where they caught fire Steph Curry. Vintage Steph Curry awoken again, hit some huge threes. He had 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Jimmy Butler in full effect with 20 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Draymond had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, I believe. And just a balanced scoring attack right in. Buddy Hield having a great game. And then obviously just more breakdown. Amen Thompson, I'm telling y'all, man, Amen Thompson, if this dude can develop him a perimeter shot already with the skill set that he has in the elite defender, he did a wonderful job guarding Steph Curry and really kind of limiting him, right? Well, you know what I'm saying, right? You can limit Steph Curry to an ability. When Steph Curry catches fire, he just can't be stopped. But you can't really limit, but you can slow him down. You can force him to take those tough shots, which causes him to miss here and there. And Amen Thompson did such a phenomenal job. The Rockets, give them a lot of credit. Defensively, they were flawless the entire series. That's why, too, the Warriors went. It took them to 7 games. And I predicted, right, that they would win in 6, but the Rockets, they also kind of caught fire the other day as well, which obviously led them to a game 7. Kind of played well. It was a close game throughout the first half, but then of course the Warriors, they just exploded and really just kept their foot on the gas even when the Rockets made some push. I'm saying it right now too, Jalen Green needs to be traded from the Houston Rockets. It is inexcusable that this guy was the 2nd overall pick and he is not even the best player on his team. Alperen Sengun, who was in that same draft class, was taken later on at 16th. Wasn't even a lottery pick and has proven to be their go-to guy. And even still, in my opinion, they need a true go-to guy, and that's basically the theme for the Rockets. As great as their defense was, they have some skill guys. Their role players are phenomenal. And again, in my opinion, Amen Thompson, if he develops a jumper, is a superstar in the making. I think dude is literally, forgive me for saying this, but if Amen Thompson gets a jump shot, to me, he's Drew Holiday on Percocets, bro. You know what I mean? This dude is just phenomenally talented. Ausar Thompson, too. So obviously, y'all saw that brutal step back that Jalen Brunson hit on him, but still, that man also had a great series. If he can continue to develop with the Pistons, JB Baker's after a wonderful game too, as well for the Knicks, and we'll obviously get to them as well. So let's first talk about what I predicted. So in the first round, or in the play-in kind of matchups, I predicted that let's start with the West. So I didn't predict the Memphis Grizzlies to make it to the playoffs with that 8th seed. I didn't predict them, so I kind of, but definitely slept on that. Anthony Davis, he had a great game in their last playing game, but yet again, 40-point game. It really didn't matter because Memphis, they just blew them out the water. Had a great game. Memphis did. And then obviously OKC, they play them in the first round, and then they get obliterated in the first game by 50 points. Then the Memphis Grizzlies, they had a 29-point lead. They should have won. They should have won at least once or twice, bare minimum once. But then they blew a 26 to 29-point lead. I think it was game 2, game 3. They were up by damn near 30 points, and they blew the game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander again had some great games. Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and then also what makes OKC so dangerous is, again, just how much balance they have. Their defense is really great. Their their defense overall is really good, and they have the depth. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's an MVP candidate, likely to win the award. Due to, obviously there's different opinions. I think Nikola Jokic should win, but I think voters fatigue will factor in other things, right? That's another story for another day, but still, they've got their MVP. you know, in their eyes, and they've got their go-to guy, and who's one of the best players in the NBA right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I mean, they just took care of business. And John Morant, once he got hurt, it was, I mean, even too, once John Morant got hurt, it was over. Memphis fought back in Game 4. They put up a good fight, but again, just too much. It's too much for them to deal with. And I know Memphis just hired they promoted the interim coach to their new head coach. So, but me personally, you know, we'll see how that goes for them moving forward. We'll see if they can continue to be a top team in the Western Conference with that as well. The Warriors, as you know, the Warriors, they beat the Grizzlies in that game. I predicted that, and then I predicted the Warriors to win their series in 6. They won in 7, so they won 4-3. So OKC, and then let's talk about this too. So I predicted the Denver Nuggets to win, I think it was 7, and I got this one right. So I fully got this one right. I predicted the Nuggets, with their experience, with that championship experience, with Nikola Jokic being as dominant as he has, and then if they could just get some key guys like Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon was phenomenal, Zach Brown. One thing I didn't like, he kept taking a lot of threes, but when he did make them, they were really important. What a series too, right? It was, I thought, one of the best series to watch. Kawhi Leonard made it through the season fully healthy. Let that sink in. Kawhi Leonard actually made it through the end of the season with no injuries. He was phenomenal. Vintage Kawhi in Game 2 with 39 points, and he was just, he had 25 points the rest of the way. He was just scoring very well. He looked great. His defense was great. He looked like Kawhi Leonard. Then yet again, James Harden had his good games, had his bad games, had his terrible games, and then Game 7, dude literally, right, Game 7 has 7 points and 12 assists. What is that? Come on, James Harden. Like, again, just some things never change. Like, you hope for the best for some of these guys, but again, like, they just don't prove you wrong. James Harden, you gotta show up. He scores 7 points in Game 7. Go figure, right? Unacceptable, right, for James Harden, and that's just going to be a key thing. I think he's a Hall of Famer. He's absolutely Hall of Famer, right? But, dude, just when your team needs you the most, you just fold at the worst possible time you can think of. So the Nuggets, they end up winning, and now they're going to play OKC. I'm taking OKC, right? I think OKC's going to the championship. I think OKC is going to the championship, and because again, the roster is just deep. They finally, like what we saw last year when Dallas played them compared to now, I really feel they really feel like an improved team. And again, just Shai, long as Shai and every one of those guys continues to stay healthy, I just think their depth, and that's the key thing in this matchup. The depth to me is why I'm going with the OKC Thunder over the Denver Nuggets. Oliver, my boy, I'm sorry, but I have to go again with Shai and the OKC Thunder. But again, and also too, again, the OKC Thunder, they have so many guys, right? They have Chet, they've got J-Dub, they've also got Aaron Wiggins who can catch fire, Alex Caruso with his championship experience, Isaiah Hartenstein. I love Isaiah Hartenstein as a basketball player, man. He is so tough in the interior, and just makes he has that floater shot that I like to see as well. Dude's just great. Weird if I sounded like I was glazing Isaiah Hartenstein, but again, he's a great player. He's a really good man's that middle as well. And they've got some other guys too. Cason Wallace as well. They just have so many guys, so much depth. That's why. And with Denver, they've got Jokic, and Jokic to me is going to pose as a mismatch for them. However, like for them to pull off an upset, Jamal Murray has to be like vintage bubble Jamal Murray, like scoring 30 plus each night to help Jokic out. And also, I don't think they have that third guy, right? Aaron Gordon can be that in spurts, but that's not really him. Zach Brown as well. Russell Westbrook has been a very important piece off the bench as a six-man. Peyton, what's his name? I think Peyton Watson. But again, the Denver, I think the lack of depth is going to hurt them in this series. That's why I have OKC in 6. Man, Lakers in 5, right? Nah, man, it's Ant-Man in 5. Ant-Man, Superman, you name it, man. Ant-Man in 5. He's the best NBA player my GOAT, Anthony Edwards. But anyway, let's stop going there. But what a shocker. I completely overvalued the Lakers not having a big man and not having a center, right? And just their roster, not having a full, complete roster. Overvaluing the LeBron James and Luka Doncic aspect, right? Both of them in the playoffs, seeing what Luka Doncic did last year. But remembering, too, Luka Doncic was just traded mid-season. He's gotten accustomed to the Lakers. He's expected to stay there, but still, like, them not having a center really hurt them bad. Minnesota was killing them every time they went to the paint because they had no paint protection. And then it was to the point J.J. Redick literally was playing his starters the entire, as you saw, and it was a whole thing on Sports Tank, right? J.J. Redick is not sitting his guys, he's not benching his guys, or he's not giving LeBron James and these guys rest, playing his Luka and LeBron the entire, second half, no rest, other than game breaks, with the timeouts and stuff. Other than that, but they had to play him. Plus, LeBron James did get injured. He suffered a sprained MCL that he played through in Game 5, which limited him as well. But also, too, LeBron was doing so much defensively that he didn't have anything on offense to go. Plus, he's 40 years old, so I get it. I agree that, again, J.J. Redick should have made some adjustments, right? Gabe Vincent is a guy who did help Miami as a key role player to the finals. He has playoff experience. Jackson Hayes should have played way more than what he did, playing just 4 to 5 minutes a game. That wasn't, no. Especially, any size at this point that you have. He's the only, size you've got. It would have helped. But, but I understand it because, again, the personnel and the roster overall, they just didn't have. They didn't have a center. Their bench depth, right? Dalton Connect's a rookie. Maybe he should have got some more playing time, but he probably wasn't ready, prepared, right? And plus, again, too, he's still kind of recovering from the after effects of being traded, then coming back to a team that traded you. That's kind of weird, right? So they, too, really just didn't have the depth. But let's scratch the Lakers. How about Minnesota? Proving me absolutely wrong. Anthony Edwards, I did not doubt him one bit, but I doubted who was going to step up for him, who was going to be, was Jaden McDaniels, was Julius Randle, who had not been great in the postseason in the past, right? Big Naz Reid, man, showed up. That's why he's got people tattooing him everywhere. Man, Naz Reid showed up, hit some critical shots, played very well. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was phenomenal in this series. He hit some big shots and played some very good defense. And then also, of course, Julius Randle. Julius Randle was out there giving work to LeBron James. When LeBron was guarding him, Julius Randle, bully ball, can't guard. Julius Randle was out there going toe-to-toe with LeBron James and winning those matchups. Like I said, Julius Randle proved me wrong, man. He proved me wrong, absolutely wrong. He had a really good series. And I just think that playoff intensity, right, and just being the underdog, being doubted by so many teams, right, being overlooked or not looked, it really, and Ant-Man, when Ant-Man sees stuff like that, that's going to give him extra motivation. And plus, this dude, and I told my boy this, I'm like, man, this dude is now, Anthony Edwards has already knocked off, he's led a team to knock off Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal on the same team, swept them. And absolutely, he owns the Suns. He owns them. Every time Ant plays the Suns, it's a nightmare waiting to happen. Then he goes, upsets, leads Minnesota to upset the Denver Nuggets, who were the defending champs the year prior. And that's Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. And now, obviously, Luka Doncic took him out in 5, that too, but then comes back, beats Luka Doncic on a new team with the Lakers and LeBron James. Come on, man. And he averaged 27, 8, and 9, and 6.5 assists. Ant was absolutely spectacular, man. Right? And then this series right here, right? Again, what a series with the Rockets. And this is going to be a long video, so bear with me. But what a series, right, for the Rockets and the Warriors. Just the complete outline or the complete theme of this is the reason why I have the Warriors winning the series was because the Rockets did not have a go-to scorer. Jalen Green again, I'm going to keep saying it. Please trade Jalen Green. If you're the Rockets, you've got to go get your go-to scorer. If either in the case of a Kevin Durant, if Kevin Durant's available, Devin Booker might be available, Giannis Antetokounmpo might be available, right? There's going to be some guys that will be available. Go be aggressive. Go get one of these guys, man, because they need to get somebody who can, when you got to give them the ball, they can go score. And they just didn't have that. Jalen Green, right there, I think there was so much potential, and he just very disappointing. Had that one great game in game 2 with 38 points. After that, 7 points, 8 points, 9 points, and then 8 points today. 8 points, 4 rebounds with 1 assist. Come on, dude. That's ridiculous. All right, but let's get into the second round predictions, right? All right. I got OKC in 6 versus Denver. This is tricky with the Warriors and the Timberwolves because, again, Draymond, playoff Jimmy, and playoff Steph can't be denied. And then Draymond Green, right, what he brings to the table. However, the Timberwolves, to me, what they have that Houston didn't, which leads me to favor them in this matchup, is one, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, again, absolutely stepped up. He played much, but he's really been great in that series. He really proved he proved me wrong as well. Just seeing how he was actually able to guard the perimeter. And that's been a struggle of Rudy Gobert's in his career, but to make the adjustment to be, more moving on his feet and just being there. Like Rudy Gobert, again, guys, we have to remember this guy is a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Should there have been years where maybe another guy should have won it? Probably so. But Rudy Gobert's presence in the paint is a nightmare because he does his job, plays his role very well. And then again, he caught fire. He killed the Lakers in Game 5 in the 27 points, 24 rebounds. I'm not saying he's going to do that again, but his presence in the paint, to me, is what's going to be the factor here. Anthony Edwards, too, has been on a generational tear of just going off, right? And then if again, I see the role players for the Warriors, absolutely great. They've been very great. And I don't want to sound biased because I'm an Ant fan, a fan of Anthony Edwards, but I really think what the Warriors, and again, them having their go-to guys, but now having like Anthony Edwards and then Julius Randle, if he can continue to play well in this series, if he can be consistent, if Jaden McDaniels, who was also great in that series, if he can continue to play well, and also Minnesota defensively, and they've got Dante DiVincenzo, they've got depth to match up with the Warriors. You've got Dante, Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who can come off the bench and be productive for you. I think there's some other guys on their team as well. But they've got guys, and then of course they've got the veteran leadership of Mike Conley that'll help as well, and then Anthony Edwards as your pure go-to guy. I might change this, but I'm going with the Timberwolves in 7. Give me the Timberwolves, and I think this is going to be a 7-game series, just again with everything factored in. But I just think with what Houston lacked, having that go-to guy compared to what the Timberwolves have with that go-to guy, I think, and I would assume some people would probably take the Warriors in this series, but I'm taking the Timberwolves, and then this team too will go to the conference finals to play OKC. We'll get to that prediction later, but give me the Timberwolves in 7 versus the Warriors. I think this. And I think, too, just the lack of size for the Warriors. And look, Draymond Green is an incredible defender and, stuff like that. But I really, again, feel defensively, too, Minnesota is one of those teams that, to be reckoned with. I'm actually going to make probably this a part 2 because I don't want the videos being too long for y'all. So I'm going to cut it here. So what's my next matchup? The Warriors there. You got them there. So yeah, so those are the 2 next round matchups. So I got Timberwolves in 7 and I got OKC in 6. So I'm going to make a part 2 for the East, and I'm going to get back to y'all in just a moment. So, but y'all have a blessed day. Be safe. Peace.